if you've never been in a scenario where the federal government is at your doorstep, right? And we see it all the time. You see the gangster, the gangsters, right? Once they get in front of that law, it's very few of them that don't snitch.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. Know what time it is.
Now I was gonna say, how did you get listed? That like who snitched on you? Like that that you were doing these things.
Oh, so listen, I had to be. They wouldn't tell me directly, but I had to be named by Cassie.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to be, because I mean there was never anybody. I only spoke to her.
She snitched on you. Wow.
Yeah, there was always only us three there, so they had to get my information from her.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So you said the pictures came out. Your picture came out 2 days before you testified.
No, my picture wasn't on there.
Your picture wasn't on there.
My picture wasn't on there.
So when did they ever talk to you about releasing your identity? Did you ever push back on that and say, I don't mind testifying, but I don't necessarily want to be attached to this case in real life? Did you ever talk to them about that?
Nah, I mean, if there was a small conversation where there was a possibility of me testifying, like as a Jane Doe type of thing, right? But it was very brief, right? I didn't push it. To some degree, you don't know what to expect, right? Like who can I talk to that's been a witness in this type of case to give me any type of feedback? So and because I was in denial for so long, if I would even take the stand, I didn't even push to even really consider those type of options, because I never thought I was gonna make it to the stand.
So at no point did you consider actually getting an attorney?
No, I had an attorney.
Oh, Jesus, don't say that person's name.
Yeah, I had an attorney. But remember, so when they first asked me about an attorney, I called around to get my own, and because of the magnitude of the case, I was getting like minimum $20,000 retainers. So I wasn't paying that, right? So I took the attorney they gave me. So obviously, I'm not gonna say it was that, but I don't know how well I was represented to my best interest, because I'm taking a public defender.
So hold on, you had a court-appointed attorney.
Yep.
Who didn't advise you as to using a synonym and not using your name. They didn't advise you on that?
Like I said, it was a very brief conversation, but no, there wasn't a full level advisory conversation, no.
And there was no follow-up?
No.
And when you went to testify, was that attorney there?
Yes.
And that attorney didn't speak to you prior to you testifying?
Well, no, every pre-trial, like, the mock cross and all that, he was there for everything. But in terms of the full options, we never explored that as like a huge thing. And again, I think part of it was me, right? Like, for real, man, it really seemed, I was not 100% sure I was gonna testify till I testified on a Tuesday. It was supposed to be a Monday. I wasn't sure till the Saturday before.
Did he notify you were gonna testify, or did the government notify you?
So it was every time we did like some sort of prep, it was, we'll let you know. We'll let you know, right? Because obviously my testimony was supposed to corroborate, right? So I think they were trying to work it out based on what was going on with. So what really threw me off, now that I remember, I was told I was I could possibly testify late June, right? Late June. And I think everything got pushed up because was pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they were telling me clear my schedule from mid-June to July, like now. So maybe the original plan was she was supposed to be like the finale witness, not the start off witness, but they had to flip everything because she was 8 months pregnant.
Right.
So my timeline was completely off, you know?
Was sober during these sessions?
Yeah, man, I didn't experience her under the influence. Or nothing gave me an indication that she was intoxicated or under the influence.
You went super viral on Cam's show because Cam was really pressing, like, man, how was it? How did you feel like that question was out of bounds?
Yeah, I think there's no way like you can answer that question under these scenarios without it being just the wrong thing to do. Right. You know, like obviously I'm sidestepping it, right? Because I understand I'm on a platform, and you know he got to do what you got to do. You got to ask the questions, but you can't speak about a woman whose experience in front of the world is being abused, right? That's what she's saying her experience was, and then put her in some sort of public eye in that way, in a judgmental way like that is just not the thing to do. So I understand the question. Like believe it or not, every one of my personal friends ask the same question. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the question, but like on a platform under this climate is just not the question to answer.
But do you feel bad that snitched on you though? Because like you gotta feel some type of way. I was just chilling. She was giving me the money. It's like the drug dealer, you getting the drug and then the drug dealer snitches on you.
So this is what I'm gonna say, right? Under a normal circumstance, you would say snitch, right? But if you've never been in a scenario where the federal government is at your doorstep, right? And we see it all the time. You see the gangster, the gangsters, right? Once they get in front of that law, it's very few of them that don't snitch. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, there's no benefit for even testifying, right? She already got her money.
Right.
She got her money. She was compensated. Like she was good. So I feel like her involvement, even though she probably does want some vindication from what she's saying she went through, but if she could have just not did this, she probably wouldn't have, you know? And if they're saying who's involved, what you're gonna do? You're not gonna lie to them, because that's the threat. Like every time I met with them, everything was cool, but they give you, he probably knows the form, but they give you a form at your interviews that you have to sign, and they basically aggressively threaten you. Like, look, you good as long as you tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you tell the truth, you fine. But if you don't, we will prosecute you to the furthest extent of the law. It's perjury. I got that threat every single time I spoke to them. So you're gonna tell the truth.
So that proffer agreement that you got.
Boom, that's what it's called.
And when they put that in front of you, did you have your lawyer there with you?
Yep.
Did this lawyer say anything?
He was
other than, hey man, how you doing, Ray? Sharay, how you doing?
Not a lot, man. Honestly, man, like if and I like the dudes, I don't necessarily throw them
That's
under
why I
the
said
bus.
don't throw them under the bus, but
Yeah,
I am.
But I felt like so I experienced this before, right? And this people who listen and who hire attorneys, right? And you got to really be careful which one you get, because attorneys is a fraternity, right? It's a fraternity to some degree, and you could have an attorney that's your attorney, but if he wants to create a good relationship with the other firm and stuff like that, he may not necessarily be working fully in your interests. And me understanding that, there was a part of me that, yeah, my attorney's looking out for me, but there was a part of me that felt like maybe he wants a relationship with the prosecution, and a lot of the way he would advise me could have been to their best interests.
And boss, I'm just going to clarify something for you. And for attorneys, there are those of us who really don't give a about who's on the other side. We take cases based on either what we believe or if it's just a great financial client. But there are attorneys who will go all to the wall for their clients. And that's what an attorney should do, because we took an oath to protect the Constitution, not to protect a fraternity or a brotherhood or sisterhood or an organization. We said, we're going to give you a constitutionally sound representation. And I'm not going to say anything other than that, because there seems to be a lot of silence in your representation. But I've spoken on this show before about how it is dealing with the feds and how it is going before them and being in that box and having those bright lights and having those questions come at you. The hardest man becomes butter in that box. But I do appreciate your honesty. I'm going to ask a Joker type question. So has your dating life increased since you testified? Is your DMs blowing up?
So
that's a long pause.
My DMs are blowing up.
Are you taking dates?
Nah, I'm chilling, man.
You chilling?
I'm chilling.
I'm
chilling. And so ironically, the DMs that are blowing up crazy is dudes like, how much for my wife? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, man. Daily.
Yeah.
Would you entertain?
First of all, man, the first thing I go to is a setup.
For sure.
Right? Because I have steps. You got to remember, I did prostitution, right? But there's no statute of limitations.
For sure.
There's nothing you can do, right? So, but now if I re-engage, and then I got a history that I sidestepped, so it's like, nah, I'm good, man. Like,
family members that didn't know or maybe knew a little bit, but not to the extent, when all this comes out, like, how does that look in your personal life, your family life?
Man, so when you've been a stripper for 30 years,
right?
Like all of the scrutiny, all of the judgment, all of that stuff, I've already been dealing with it for the longest, right?
So you've been the Punisher, like
nobody
just finding out you the Punisher.
Yeah, ain't nobody just finding out, and so right now it's just really me. My mom 4 years ago, so it's just me and my dad, and my dad is the type.
Yeah,
he'll walk in the spot like, yeah, that's my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna embrace it. So it's not an issue.
Have you not had any contact with it? But have you seen while all this is going on? Have you been viewed? Like, have they kept y'all separated? Like, has it been shared between y'all?
Nah. So the way it was set up was she testified before me, so she was wrapped. So once she was done, like, she's not gonna come back to court or whatever. And I think she had a baby shortly after. So there was no interaction or no me crossing paths with her at all.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move it. Hey.